Hello, how's everyone doing today? I'm back again to talk about the newest dolls released for CN. A cropped image of them were shared on the same day You was released, You being the 8th Dream Maelstrom doll. In fact, it was in the same post, so that post might be the best one, revived whichever shared, when it comes to new dolls, in my opinion, obviously. There's also something in that post that I want to speculate about. I'm curious to see what everyone's thought on it are as well. But let's start with the dolls first, because then my reasoning for my speculation or assumption will make more sense. The two new dolls in question are supposed to be completely new. And as much as I loved seeing Ashura, Flare, and the new version of Dana get added in the game, I would actually prefer new dolls. I think returning dolls, or as Revived Witch team puts it, familiar faces, I think they should be released less frequently, like how it was with Adine. That way they would feel like a surprise and would be appreciated more, in my opinion. Anyways, the new dolls. Are they new in name, or do they genuinely feel new and fresh? Well, at least when it comes to the design, for the first doll they hinted at, I'd say she's different than the usual, maybe. With her having more of a saturated shade of blue for her hair. Actually, it's not that saturated because this is how she looks. Her name, as written in the post Revived Witch shared, is Dane Dream. It's kind of a long name, so I'll call her Danny instead. I hope that's fine. She's a Saltstone healer. Her story is probably a cliche by now, right? Because I think there's a bit of cringe-inducing trend in anime and anime-styled games to draw characters in a certain type of way, then say, oh, she's 100 years, oh, she's 300 years, so whatever. Maybe those unlockable few extra lines in her profile will save her story, but I'm not holding my breath. Okay, let's look at her skills. Her order skill restores health for all allies by a certain attack value, clears all debuffs, and increases physical defense and magic defense equivalent to a certain attack value for a period of time. So any dolls whose attack is dependent on her defense would benefit greatly from this, like with Aphalon's second skill. Next is her charge skill. Heal all allies for a period of time, restoring health equivalent to a certain attack value every second, increases attack and ignores the enemy's physical defense equivalent to a certain attack value, can stack up to 3 times. Wait, this skill applies to your entire party. There's an attack increase and a skill ignore for your entire party? Okay, I guess. Why not make your entire team Tunnel of Night? Now to her passive. When an ally is fatally struck, give damage resistance, reduces the damage taken within few seconds. This can only take effect once within a period of time. This skill is weird. Usually skills that trigger after a doll dies can only happen once per battle. But with this one there is a cooldown time before the skill can trigger again. This would have led to a reverse sacrifice situation where she'd be the last doll standing, but she's a buffer with no attack skills. Perhaps in a situation when you can't get past an enemy, you could team her up with dolls that can revive themselves, like Raffen. Yeah, I can't think of any other situation where this passive would give that much of an advantage. I don't know if I'm sounding a bit unenthused, but I actually like Dani. I like her skills overall, and for sure I won't skip her. But I will definitely prioritize the second doll, because conceptually we haven't seen a character like this before. Perhaps without even seeing her, I was looking forward for her arrival. Okay, here she is. A mermaid. Finally, a mythical creature that's not a girl with a cat ears but no cat tail. Thank you! I'm gonna start saving my souls for her right about now. Her name is Shiroi. She's another Mercury Mage. Just a few days ago, folks were saying how there aren't many mages, or UR mages to be exact. Now Revived Witch seemingly can't stop releasing them. Her story, I feel like I've read it before, maybe because Simbriette, or however you say her name, has a similar story. But okay, let's go to her skills. Her order skill inflicts 3 hits of magic damage to the enemy in the first row, and the damage received from Condensate Rain, which is this order skill, will increase for a certain period of time. This can stack up to 3 times. The damage received from this skill will be increased. Why not just add the damage increase to the total damage? I wonder if there is a reason behind that. Moving on to her Chaos skill. Inflicts 3 magic damage of a certain attack value to all enemies, and add a heavy water erosion effect for a certain period of time. Heavy water erosion reduces magic defense equivalent to a certain attack value, can stack up to 3 times. Right, let's see her passive skill now. When releasing rain roll skills, that is her chaos skill, there is a certain probability that it will not consume energy and increase self-attack for a certain period of time. Okay, I didn't mention any UE this time because none was announced. These 2 dolls are said to be event limited, though they're not from the event shop. Obviously, they're not that nice to us. Dani will get her rate up on the 8th of September, and Shiroi will be released next week. I'm curious to see what the exact percentage of her skills will be like. Okay, now that the dolls are out the way, let's see what the event they will be released with. The line Revived Witch concluded the announcement post with is "See you on the island." You probably have guessed it, since the last event in CN was a rerun for the first event, Phantom Mirror. So yeah, a rerun event for Isle Adventure, even though it's not called that, so maybe it's not. I mean, it looks the same, it plays the same, but it is called now Summer Echoes. Here's what I want to speculate about, and maybe this is a bit of a reach, but the addition of Shiroi got me thinking. I've reviewed Isle Adventure when it came out for Global, and one of the few things I mentioned I wasn't a fan of was how the story ended. It was a bit of a cliffhanger, or maybe not so much of a cliffhanger, but it felt like the story plot was abruptly dropped and the story came to an end. If you recall, a sea creature was sort of the MacGuffin of the event story, but we never met her, nor did we get a confirmation about her existence. So, is Shiroi indeed the sea elf mentioned in the story? If that's the case, does that mean there will be more story to read in that rerun event? Even though, again, they did not call it a rerun, but the picture they showed, the images I've seen, the stages, the world, or whatever, seems the same as Isle Adventure, but they're naming it, as I said, Summer Echoes. So will this lead to a new plotline, a continuation of the previous story? Or will this be a pure rerun, meaning there won't be any new story and we'll have to settle with a little bit of backstory from her profile to fill in the gap and clear up the muddy story end? The last thing I want to show you before I end the video is Tonal's new skin. It's supposed to be a swimsuit, but it looks more like a sleepwear to me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching so far. Do let me know what you think about the new dolls and their skills, and also about what I discussed with Shiroi. You think they will continue the story with her, or is this, like I said, just a glorified rerun of Isle Adventure? Okay, till the next video.